If you've been around the Chinese link click community, you'll know there's a debate that has been going on since the birth of the show. That is, the relationship between Cheng Xiaoshi and Lu Guang. Now, it's not whether these two are gay for each other, because anyone with eyes can see that they are, but it's about who tops in this relationship. Now, the answer is not as simple as it seems. Today, I am here to present my findings from each side and give you my final thoughts. There are two sides to this discussion. One is hei bai, literal translation as black and white, and the other is bai hei, white and black. I'll start with hei bai's side, or the side that favors Cheng Xiaoshi as the top. First off, the name of the show, Shiguang 代理人. As a lot of you already know, Shiguang is one of the CP names for the pairing. For anyone unaware, in Chinese CP names, the left side is reserved for the top, and the left side is reserved for the bottom. So having Shiguang in your show name outright points to Cheng Xiaoshi as the top. Of course, this can't be counted as a total win yet. Outside of CP names, Shiguang 代理人 just means time agent, and obviously the show couldn't be named Guangshi 代理人, as the meaning would be different and wouldn't make sense. Anyway, next time you use Shiguang as the ship name, know that Chinese-wise, it can also be interpreted as being on hei bai's side. Next, we have this scene at the end of the first episode of Britain Arc. From what I remember, since Lu Guang's summer clothes hasn't arrived yet, Cheng Xiaoshi digs through his clothes and finds this shirt for him. And if you look at it closely, it's the shirt Lu Guang wears for the entirety of Britain Arc. This is basically the classic wearing your boyfriend shirt trope. However, if you look at the special animation Bilibili released, the boys are packing up for the Britain trip, and Lu Guang clearly has his own clothes already. But the next day, Cheng Xiaoshi shoves this shirt in Lu Guang's face for him to wear. And Lu Guang actually wears Cheng Xiaoshi's shirt. Alright, time for the evidence that is the hardest to dispute and has turned bai hei fans to hei bai fans. Cheng Xiaoshi's height. Specifically, Cheng Xiaoshi's height in comparison to Lu Guang's. Cheng Xiaoshi is the standard 180, but Lu Guang is 175 centimeters. 5 centimeters shorter than Cheng Xiaoshi. This matter isn't as obvious in the first two seasons, but Britain Arc really went ham on the height difference between the two. And I can confidently say that Cheng Xiaoshi's height won him half the battle. Basically, every discussion you see on this topic, hei bai fans will mention Cheng Xiaoshi's height. Some bai hei fans really did convert to hei bai fans after seeing his height. It's not to say there are no short tops, but in fiction, it's typically the taller one that tops. Bai hei's side has mentioned that short tops exist and that Lu Guang's profile noted that he was still growing. However, hei bai fans refuted by stating that since Cheng Xiaoshi is 21 years old, we can say that Lu Guang is around that age range and he would be past the age of growth already. Is a 21-year-old male still growing another 5 centimeters? On another note, some have said that his profile has the note that he is still growing because he's the only one left alive and everyone else is already dead. Which is just, hello? We were just discussing silly CP names. Why did you suddenly bring out this knife? Next, we have these character sheets. The point to focus on is their physical strength. Cheng Xiaoshi's strength is basically 5 out of 5, while Lu Guang's strength is 1 out of 5. Let me tell you how absurd this is. Xiaoling, a girl 15 centimeters shorter and weighs 20 kilograms less than him, has a score of 3 out of 5. Lu Guang, you're not a sickly beauty, and you clearly like to play ball. Why are you so fragile? Hei bai fans say that Lu Guang can't even carry Cheng Xiaoshi to bed, and probably can't even push down Cheng Xiaoshi, so he has no right to top. Lastly, Cheng Xiaoshi's animal representation in the show is a dog, while Lu Guang is a cat. As this netizen has pointed out, have you ever seen a cat defeat a dog? Usually in Chinese stories that have a pair represented by a cat and dog, the top is usually the silly dog and the bottom is a cool cat. That's all for hei bai's side. Maybe there's more, but these are the points I see commonly brought up. Now that we've made it this far, I have something to confess. I'm actually a bai hei girly. That's right, this video was made with an agenda. I'm here to convince you to join the bai hei side, the Guangshi side, the side where Lu Guang tops Cheng Xiaoshi. Now, let's begin with the first point. Oh, wait, how did that get in there? Let me just remove that. Right, the first point. The top text says, when will spring come for bai hei? And the bottom text says, it is now! I think this point is pretty self-explanatory. Like, Lu Guang literally tops Cheng Xiaoshi in this scene. Why did the animators have to animate Lu Guang falling precisely on top of Cheng Xiaoshi like this? And what's with these angles? Unless Cheng Xiaoshi does the same to Lu Guang in the new season, this point stands strong. Alright, next point is a bit of wordplay from this commenter. So, in Chinese literature, the top is referred to as the gong, which means attacker, while the bottom is referred to as so, which means receiver. Lu Guang abbreviated is LG, and the G can stand for gong, which means top, and Cheng Xiaoshi is abbreviated as CXS, and the S can stand for so, which means bottom. Another commenter also said that LG could also be interpreted as 老公, which means husband in Chinese.
Coincidence? I think not!
Moving on, Britain Arc Episode 1. Lu Guang is dressed up and cosplaying as the male lead of the popular comic, while Cheng Xiaoshi is dressed casually. However, it is later revealed that Cheng Xiaoshi was going to cosplay too, and it was none other than the female lead of the same comic. A shame it didn't work out. We could have seen them cosplay as a couple. In episode 3 of Britain Arc, Lu Guang and Cheng Xiaoshi are drinking, and it is shown that Lu Guang has a higher alcohol tolerance than Cheng Xiaoshi. And before you say that Lu Guang drank less, here's a wide shot of their table and the amount they drank. On Lu Guang's side of the table, we can clearly see he drank a lot. This plays into the trope where the top has a higher alcohol tolerance than the bottom, and is less likely to get drunk. Lastly, in the same episode, Cheng Xiaoshi leans on Lu Guang's shoulder while he sleeps. No big deal. Then Lu Guang stares at his head and reaches his hand out, clearly wanting to touch Cheng Xiaoshi's head, but Cheng Xiaoshi wakes up and Lu Guang has this shock reaction and froze for a few seconds, like he was almost caught in the act or something. Meanwhile, Cheng Xiaoshi is oblivious to it all. Tell me, does this not sound like a scene out of a shoujo manga, where Lu Guang is the male lead? Here's 2 other little points. So, why does each pairing appeal to each side? In my opinion, aside from all the points previously mentioned, Heibai fans like Cheng Xiaoshi as the top because it plays into the popular golden retriever and black cat dynamic. Cheng Xiaoshi is the charming, sunny type who will pull the introverted Lu Guang out to have fun. He's silly most of the time, but also has a serious side when necessary. The narrative of Cheng Xiaoshi being the straight man who touches and constantly crosses Lu Guang's boundaries unintentionally, while slowly falling in love with him, is appealing. Fans like the way Cheng Xiaoshi teases Lu Guang and breaks his cool guy exterior. Plus, Cheng Xiaoshi does a lot of things to protect Lu Guang, like blocking a freaking bullet for him for who knows how many times, honestly, and prioritizing taking care of Lu Guang over his own personal matters. Baihei fans like Lu Guang as the top because similar to Heibai fans, but in reverse, it's the iceberg top and the little sunshine bottom dynamic. Lu Guang is the stoic, rational male lead, while Cheng Xiaoshi is his extremely empathetic and reckless lover. Lu Guang's love is exclusive for Cheng Xiaoshi. He only smiles at and puts up with Cheng Xiaoshi's nonsense, evident by his max tolerance stat noted specifically towards Cheng Xiaoshi. Lu Guang's action of going against fate and altering the fabric of time and space over and over again to save Cheng Xiaoshi is really romantic and radiating male lead energy. Lu Guang has multiple scenes where he is protective of Cheng Xiaoshi and scenes that can even be interpreted as jealousy. His line of accompanying Cheng Xiaoshi as long as he can so Cheng Xiaoshi doesn't get lonely is moving. In the end, both sides want the same thing. It really all comes down to what dynamic you like. Important to note that the CN fans are just having a fun little rivalry and are by no means hostile to each other. Both sides ultimately support Cheng Xiaoshi and Lu Guang's relationship regardless of who tops. It's just that since there is no official confirmation, it's up to fandom interpretation. Fans who support both sides are actually called omnivores, 杂食, because they can eat both content up. Anyway, we've reached the end of this video. Like and subscribe if you've made it this far. And comment down below which side you're on, Shiguang or Guangshi.